So tonight we're going to do the left-hand side of our book. So I think if we start at the back and work our way forward. Now, I had a minor panic before class started because I have 2 bags of Alice bits. I have this bag, which is a kit that I cut up and then took photos of so that I could take photos to show you all which bits you had to cut out when I finally get around to doing the written tutorial. And I found this, no problem. Could I find my bag of cut out bits? Could I heck? We had an absolute panic earlier. Anyway, here it is. I have to say, I don't know what's in here. Oh, those are all my chipboards. And St. Anthony was very helpful, which was good. Not the magpie. No, patron saint of lost causes. So, we're going to start, we're going to do the left-hand side of our book tonight. Let me just make sure this is in shot. It is, isn't it? Just about. So, we're going to start at the back. So, this pulls out, obviously, like that. And we're going to work just now on this dotty piece at the very, very back of our book. Don't look too close because I didn't stick this in straight, which wasn't very good of me, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this piece, which is the Alice and the Queen. And I'm going to put this on my dotty page here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. Oh, I have news. Bone folders, big and little. They are in on Friday. Yay. So we will have bone folders in the shop on Friday, big and small. I knew that would make you happy.
I can't wait. I like Fridays.
I like Fridays too. Right, so we've just folded that in half and now we're going to attach it to our book here. Now we're going to do it like it's, you know, an insert in a card. I just put a little bit of glue just down one side. You can use a little bit of double-sided tape, whatever you want to do. I didn't stick it down completely because I like the fact that this is kind of a little bit independent. So I'm just going to stick it right up to the crease there, to the fold. Centre it top to bottom. And I'm just going to glue it down like that. So it doesn't really do a lot. It's just a little bit of interest. If you wanted to put some photos on there, you could do. So what we need to find now to go on top of it is 2 of our chipboard hearts. These aren't cut out ones. Yes, Nicole, you definitely are going to get access to a written tutorial. I just haven't written it yet. But there will be in due course, I promise. So yeah, I want you to get 2 of your hearts. So here are my chipboards. There's one. Oh, what else have I got? There should be another one. I've probably lost it somewhere on the floor. Oh, there it is. Okay, so we've got a couple of chipboard hearts, and I'm going to pop one here onto the Queen's thing, scepter. I suppose that's what you call it, isn't it? So just on there, and then I'm going to pop the other one down here. But we'll do that bit in a minute, because what I want you to do first is find that little bit that we've cut out that just says Wonderland. This is the fun bit now, trying to find all these bits. But you know what? I'm just going to make a mess. I might as well be real.
But we've just cleaned up.
We haven't cleaned up. Don't tell people that we've cleaned. We haven't. Nobody's going to believe it. Well, we've cleaned up downstairs.
The garage was almost empty.
Yes.
That's rubbish.
Yes, we had a really great weekend. We got so much done. Far more than I anticipated, actually, if truth be told.
And 3 carloads later.
Yes, 3 carloads down the tip, which was good. Oh, for goodness sake, where's that bit gone? There should be a little bit that says Wonderland, just Wonderland. I wonder where, because it was off the front of, wasn't it off the front of one of those? It was. Did I actually cut it out?
Probably
not. No. It's got to be in here somewhere. Has anybody else found theirs? Hi Anne, how you doing? found it. It's here. It's here. Got it. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to distress the edges of this. And like I said last week, you can get lots of wonderful fancy tools to do that, which are brilliant. But if you haven't got access to one, I just use the edge of my scissors.
Lisa's found it.
Oh, yeah, I found mine now eventually. Okay, so what I haven't found is my chipboard, the grey board that I was using to hire stuff up. I'll just use another piece. I've got quite a lot of it, to be truthful. Oh no, I can't. Oh no, that's off me book. Hang on. Oh, it's all on the floor, that's why I can't find it. Right. So I'm just going to cut a little bit of grey board just to go behind that Wonderland piece. Let's make sure it's not too wide. Might trim it down a little. And I'm just going to glue it to the back of that bit that says Wonderland. Then I'm going to glue that to the page. A little bit of glue on the back. And I'm going to pop that. Can you see this? Yes, it's in shot, isn't it? Down there. And I've got my other chipboard heart. Also, next week, I should have my sticky mitts on the Winter's Tale. The Stamperia, new one. So I'm very excited about that as well. And I'm getting enough for a kit. So we'll do something with that too. Okay, so that page is done. So we've just got the two hearts, the two chipboard hearts, and then our Wonderland down there. Distress the edge, and I've hired that up onto what do you call it, chipboard. Okay, so let's turn this page over now. Now this page, this is fun because as you can see it's upside down at the moment, which you didn't notice until I told you that when we looked at this one first of all. So what we need to do is I put just a strip across there, and actually I can see I've cut mine up, my strip, not that it matters particularly. You should still have a piece like this left over because we had Alice and we had the what's it, cat, and then I told you to save this for the heart. I want you to cut that bit down there as well because we're going to put that across this bottom bit here about. So if I just cut this quickly, I've just cut a piece like that, and I'm going to just measure. Let's just put this flat, it'd make life a bit easier, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
How far that is, down to about there. Let's just chop that off. Fold it in half. Just make sure that fits across there, which it does. And I'm just going to glue that down. And it just covers up a little bit of the fact that that piece of paper is upside down. It doesn't really matter because you don't notice.
No, all our teapots are that way.
They are, when we're in Australia. Okay, so I'm just going to glue that across there. Just make sure that folds and flat. Yeah, okay. So what I want to do now is make this heart here that pops up. So what I need to do is make myself a little template. And I'm going to do that by just grabbing a piece of scrap paper. You'd really think I'd have some scrap paper or some scrap card. Here's a piece that I had from earlier. And I am just going to fold... Oh, if I fold it in half like that, I'm going to draw a heart, and the heart will be about 3 inches high. So hang on, let me get this all out of the way. If I measure 3 inches, I know that's how high I want my heart to be. Okay, so now I'm just going to draw a heart shape. Okay, so half a heart. Don't be half-hearted about it, however. Hi, Juliet. And I'm just going to cut it out. Probably to find out that this isn't at all the shape that I want, but never mind. Okay, so if I open that out now, I should have a nice heart shape, roughly. Okay, so then what I need to do is take this piece that we've got left over, and we are going to cut out 3 hearts. So I used the bits with writing on, so I'm just going to cut it down a little bit. I'm going to fold that in half. Oops. And I've got my template. Fold of the template up to the fold of your words piece, and I'm just going to cut round it. And I'm going to do that 3 times, so I've got 3 hearts like that. Okay, so fold them in half. Cut round my template. Okay, so that's 2. And now the 3rd one. Hi, Gwen. Oh, bye, Mel. She's not sticking about, is she?
No.
Fine.
She's been Mel.
She's gone to listen to Dan.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, I've been being cheated on with Dan on the radio. Right. So now I've got my 3 hearts. Now I actually took some, to make it a little bit more standy outy, I took some of my black ink. She says, I did have some black ink earlier. Oh. Where's my thingy? What do you call it? The thing for thinking.
What's it? The pad.
Yeah. Yeah, where is it? Oh, there it is. I'll put it up there, safe out the way. I'm just going to ink round the edges of my heart.
How big is your heart?
It's 3 inches maximum there.
Maximum height.
So that maximum height. See, I'll show you what I did. I took a piece of scrap paper, folded it, just to make sure that I'm going to get the shape right. And I measured, can you see this? Is this still in shot? I measured 3 inches from the top, from the bottom, so that I know that that 3 inches, that's as big as I want my heart to be. So then I'm doing this the wrong way round now. This is going to turn out pants. I just drew a heart shape like that, half of a heart there, up to that 3 inches, and then I just cut round and just check that I'd actually got a decent heart shape.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful, isn't it? Would you like it, dear?
I've already got your heart, dear.
Yes. Yes, you have. Aww, soppy.
I love Alice in Wonderland.
So do I. So do I. I'm a huge Alice fan. I've been looking at some papers from one of my favourite companies who I stock, Scrap Me, and they do the most beautiful Alice papers as well. I think I'm out of stock in the shop. Don't know. I think I am. But I've just been going to order some more. Because I was also thinking of ordering some more paper for another kit, but that's by the by. They're out of stock as well. It's because everybody loves Alice.
Whoever she is.
Whoever Alice is. Right. Okay. So, now what we need to do is we need to attach these together so that they kind of pop up a bit. But it's not quite as simple as I'm making it sound, and I can't remember how I did it. Hang on a minute. Oh yeah. Right. I want you to take one of your hearts, well, all of your hearts, and you know this bit where it joins up there? I want you to just snip down about 1/2 inch and then take a little snip out. So it's that sort of shape. Okay, I'll show you again. Snip down about 1/2 inch or so, and then just snip out a little corner. So you're just taking out that little bit there. Okay. Final one, snip down about 1/2 inch and snip out that bit there. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make our hearts kind of 3D-ish. So you've got that bit that you've chopped out there. Take a little bit of glue, just put a spot of glue on the straight bit, and you're going to fold that underneath so that your heart is shaped now. Okay? Hi Rizwana. So you're late. You're late for a very important date. You can be the white rabbit. Hi Miranda. Okay, so you've got this straight bit here. That's where you're going to put a little bit of glue. And you're just going to fold... No, I've just done that the wrong way around. You put the glue on the back and fold that over the top so that your heart becomes shaped. Okay? Yeah, Ellie, that's what I had in my head as well about Alice.
Yeah,
where is Alice?
Where the flipping is she?
Yeah. So, little spot on glue on the back, and we're going to fold it like that. So that what we've got in each of our hearts is kind of a dip. Right. Oh, too hot. Hang on, let's take my jumper off. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to attach these together. But first of all, we need to make sure that they're going to lie flat in the book. I mean, ideally, we need to leave these a little bit longer. But you see you've got the fold here. If you fold that down, now make sure that your heart folds like that. Okay, so now that's flat. But when I open it up, it's still that kind of 3D shape. So I'm going to fold that flat. Oh, this is because I haven't left it long enough to dry. So it's flat now, but when I open it up, I've got my 3D shape. Okay? And do that with each of them. And then what we need to do is attach them one to the other. So we're going to do that just at the bottom bit here. So if you put a little bit of glue just there, just a spot of glue, line that heart up there like that, spot of glue on the other side.
I haven't got a spot. can use a drop.
Yeah, you can use a drop.
Okay.
And line that one up. Ooh. So now we've got our 3 hearts all stuck together, okay? So when we close our book, that's all going to shut flat. But when we open our book, we're going to get our 3D heart.
It'll hit you in the face.
Okay? Lorraine, no worries. You're probably going to want some peace and quiet to do it anyway. Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this to my book. So I need to put some glue on the outside there, and I need to put some glue on the outside there. So just going to add glue there, glue there. I'm going to put my heart right in the middle of that fold, and I'm going to fold that up and make sure that it's stuck down right into the fold. You might have to just double check. Oh, Jill. Being sat on the hot tub or in the hot tub?
Better in it.
Okay, so when you open it up now, you've got your 3D heart there. Okay? Does that work for everybody? But we're not finished because we want to make it pretty. There is more. So what I've done is I've added these flowers behind mine just for a bit of interest. So I'm going to take one of the big flowers that I've cut. Probably, let's have a look. That one. And I'm going to cut it in half. Right down the middle like that. And then I'm going to attach 1/2 in that first heart. And I'm going to attach that one inside the other heart. So I've got a little bit of interest in those now. So when I close it up, it's all flat. But when I open it up, my heart pops up. Okay? Now, we're not finished with this page, because what we've got to do now is we've got to add a bit of interest. So I want you to find a teapot out of your chipboards. And I think, let me find the one that I used. I use that little round chipboard. And also I want you to find a cup that you cut out of your paper. So I've got chipboards on this side, paper on this one. So find one of the cups that you cut out. You can see, I can't see any of them. Oh, there's that one. No, it's not that one I want. And I want you to find your little tea party that you cut out like that. There's my cup. So I've got a cup. No, not that cup. I've got the cup, the tea party, and I've got my chipboard. What do you call that? Teapot. So I'm just going to add them on here just to add a bit of interest and kind of take away from the fact that that some of this is upside down. So I'm just going to glue my chipboard teapot on. I'm going to cut a little bit of the grey board. Just to make some interest for where it says tea party. So I'm going to glue that onto there. And I'm going to glue that over that side. It kind of goes underneath that flower a bit. Actually, I'm going to take it down a bit. I think I might put that over. Put it there. Would better there, wouldn't it?
Oh, the cup's wearing.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember how I did this first time round. And then I've got my cup, and I'm going to hire that up on some chipboard as well. So a little bit of grey board. Bit of glue. Probably not hair. That goes there. And then you should have a little chipboard Eat Me. And that is going to go up in that top corner up there. Okay. All right, so that is our pop-up heart. And that's our page with the bits on that we've just stuck. So when I close that down, if I hadn't have put that too far over, I might have to just trim that a little bit. Make it look like it was meant to be like that. That will now fold flat, which takes us on to this page here. Okay. Right. Let's fold that down a bit. Right, so this page, dead easy pop-up. Couldn't be easier. I want you to grab your paper nave, this guy here, and I want you to fold him in half, and this fold here has to be a mountain fold, which means that it needs to go on the top. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my bone folder. Just make sure I get a good sharp crease, okay? So I folded him in half like that. Okay? Now what we need to do, to be able to attach this to the book, we need to fold along these lines here so that he will sit nicely. So we're going to make these valley folds. So if you just fold that down on both sides, we're going to make some flaps. Straight as you can. Probably rather better than I've just done it, because that's not remotely straight.
It's quirky.
Yeah, it's quirky. And I'm just going to use my bone folder just to get a good crease there. So when I attach this to my book, I'm going to attach it on these flaps here, like that. Okay, so it really is an incredibly simple pop-up. So that is going to go there like that. So when we close the book, when it's glued and we close the book, he will close up. So glue on these flaps. Okay. And now we need to attach him now. If you're not sure exactly where to attach him, first of all, you need to make sure that he's going to close. But if you can, even be better if it was straight. I've used these lines on the book as a bit of a guide on the papers. So let me just check this works before I tell you duff stuff. If you can see, I've attached that I've used that line there as a guide. And then that one is just gone a little bit over, it doesn't matter. But you can use those two bits, the hearts and the checkerboard, as a bit of a guide for where to stick. So now I know that when I close that down, don't worry if it pops up, because it's going to start with, because, you know, we've talked about trailing paper before. He's gonna pop up like that, okay? So now we need to add on the little bits of interest. So we're looking for our paper bit that says Wonderland is better when you're completely lost, but the small one, not this big one, because we're going to put that on the front. We want the smaller one, which will turn up at some point, I am sure. And you're going to want this bit as well that we cut out that says Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Oh, and you're going to want your, oh, we haven't put these in, have we? We need to put that in the other side. So we want, well, I put the red one in on this side. It doesn't really matter which one you use. The tab. Okay, so should we just pop the tab in first?
Yeah.
Let's put a little bit of glue, quite a lot of glue, and then just pop that on there. This was nothing more than just to add some interest. Okay, we'll pop the other one back in a minute. And then the Wonderland is better when you're completely lost, which I had, and now I've lost it again. Does anybody know where it went? It was there. I had it there. Oh,
Yeah.
God's sake. I had it. Is it attached to me? I did, didn't I? You did see me with it. Right, I'll find it in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to just cut this blue of the Alice's Adventures. And I'm going to cut it down so it's Alice's and Adventures. You might need to cut that quite close to the A. And then in. And then Wonderland, I actually had to cut in between the Wonder and the Land because it wouldn't fit. And all we're going to do now is, the edges. Distress the edges. I do need, do you know what? I've been out with my dad this afternoon. Took him to have his eyes tested. It's a long, complicated story. But I've drunk 2 cups of coffee today, which is an awful lot more than I have drunk in the last few months, and it's not doing my head any favours. I'm hyper now.
It's there next to the thing behind the what's it?
Wait, what? Where is it?
That's what Ellie's just said.
Oh. I had it though, didn't I? Did anybody else see it apart from me?
No.
I definitely had it. Right, I'm just going to distress my edges. Right, little tip when we're gluing these on the page from somebody who's done this numerous times and has lived to regret it. Start with the bottom piece first and work your... Thank you, Michelle. I did have it. I don't know where it's gone.
It's behind you.
Anyway, start with the bottom piece and work your way up. Otherwise, you'll just get them all out of line and you'll end up with not enough room. Yes, I speak from experience.
So you said the one you had was for the front. That's the big one, isn't it?
Yeah, the one... No, I had another one. I'm sure I did. Sure I had it. Oh, for goodness sake. Yeah, that one, the big ones, we want for the front. So those are for the front. But I had it all on one piece. Ah, there it is. So we're going to distress the edge of that as well. I don't know what it's doing back over there. Right, so now I'm going to glue these on. These go flat on. Let's hope I've left enough room. Yes, that's a miracle.
Yay.
Oh dear, too much glue. No. So that's going there. Hopefully a bit straighter than mine. And then this one goes a bit 3D, so stick a little bit of grey board behind it. All right, so I've stuck my bit of grey board on, and I'm just going to stick that over here. Okay, so now when I close that page, that should go flat-ish, and it will sit flatter over time, but he pops up, our hearts pop up, and we've got that page there with the hearts on. So that bit's done. Right, so now we're going to move to the front here, and I want you to grab your chipboard key, your Alice that we cut up with the straight behind, the little words that we cut out of paper that say Curiouser and Curiouser, and what I did here as well, for some reason best known to myself, is I took some of the paper that I got left and I just ripped it, actually, just to give myself an interesting edge. I just ripped it down. Now, if you want to get an interesting edge and use the inside of the paper to form an edge for you, always rip your paper towards yourself, because that is what is going to show that bit of the core of the paper. So I'm just going to rip that a little bit so you can see that's what gives us the interesting core. And I'm going to glue, there's no purpose to this other than just a bit of interest. So I'm going to pop that there behind Alice. I am going to get my chipboard key, put a little bit of glue on that, stick that there. And what I need to do now is put some chipboard behind Alice, because we want to hire her off the page. Now you might find that it's easier to put a couple of different size bits of chipboard than one on there. So I've got that one that fits there. I'll just glue that on. But I want to make sure that I've got one that fits on her head. So that isn't far off, actually. So I'll just glue that on. Gives us some stability. Bit of glue on my chipboard. And I'm going to stick that Alice down, making sure that she is roughly over the top of the other one. She won't be perfectly over the top because this one's slightly bigger, but it's not far off, okay? So you can see that she's coming up off the page now, and she looks like she's pulling the curtain behind. Then our title, Curiouser and Curiouser. I'm just going to distress the edges, and this goes directly onto the page. We don't need to hire this up with any chipboard. So she's this Curiouser and Curiouser is just going to sit behind Alice's feet. Okay, so distressed edge, little bit of glue, and pop it there over that title. Okay, so that's that bit done. Now we need to look at this page, and I was looking at this earlier and I was thinking, I've done absolutely nothing to these pages and I have no idea why. Probably because they're just lovely and we don't need to. So I haven't done anything to those at all. The next page that we've got here, this folds into our little pocket, which we'll make something for in a minute. And then we've got these pages where we suggested before might be an idea to put photographs if that's what you want to do. In this pocket, what I've done is I've used some of the cards just to make a little sort of fold up, and I'll show you how I've done that, because we've got quite a few of these cards left over, and you can obviously put these in any pocket. So here's one of my set of cards. I've got another one here, and I'm pretty certain I've got some left inside as well. So I'm just going to grab my trimmer, because I actually want to cut these down quite tidy. So I'm just going to cut this down, so I've still got a little bit of an edge, but it's just much quicker and tidier than me doing it with scissors. Okay, so I've got 6 cards there. And then here what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut 2 lots of 2 so that I can make 4 little fold over card things. So dead easy, I'm just going to fold this in half. Ooh. And you can put tiny pictures on this. You can put little bits of journaling. Whatever your heart desires. So there's a couple of little fold over cards there, and you can make as many of these as you've got. You know, you've got cards left over for. I'm just going to pop those into the pockets there. Now this one, these little plastic hearts that Mark made, they actually cut in half ever so easy because they're only really thin plastic. So I'm just going to cut that in half. And I'm going to use this as a handle, a pull out for this. So what I'm going to do now with this is I'm going to make it into like an accordion fold. So if I fold that like that and then back on itself like a concertina, we've all made those in school, haven't we? Oh, didn't fold that very well. I'm just going to glue that as a pull in between those 2 cards. So if I put some glue on my card and I sandwich that piece of clock like that, and then glue that together, it just gives me a bit of a pull for an accordion. Oh, let's try it again. This is because it hasn't dried. So that just gives me a bit of a pull for that accordion thing there, okay? So you need to let those dry, but you can make as many of those as you've got, you know, cards for, or, you know, you've got enough to make 2 of the handles, or you can just make an accordion fold and pop that in. Okay, so back here. Right, now when you turn over onto your last page, what you've got here is the Alice and the Mad Hatter's Tea Party. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, you can see here there are some words which came from this bit that we cut out. And then down here, we've got a bit on a 3D sort of a thing. So let's start with the words. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these down. So I'm going to cut in between those 2 lines of text. Just like that. I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit because it's not quite equal on the top and the bottom of the text. So that first line, there was a table set out under, chop between under and A, tree in front of the house, comma, chop there, and the march onto this one. I'm going to trim that down a bit. Hare and the Hatter were having tea at it. Chop after the colon. Okay, and a dormouse was sitting between them. Now, if you want to distress the edge of this, go ahead. I didn't on mine, don't know why, but I didn't. And this time I'm going to start gluing from the top down. So I'm going to start gluing there and just put these words onto my book, and I've lined them up on the right hand side under each other. Okay. Now if I put that there, that's going to go right over his head. So I'm going to just chop that down a bit. I must have started it off just to one side. But I don't really want to cover up his face. So I'll pop that there. Ooh. Oh, goodness sake. This is too fiddly. Okay, so I've got my words in there. Now I want to find that chipboard teapot, that funny shaped one, this one. And I'm just going to glue him on top of this teapot here. Okay? Just for some interest. Now, this thing. Grab your black book plate and just distress around the edge of it. Just to make it look a little bit shabby. Oh, I've got glue on me. Oh, hate glue. Right. Now I'm going to get quite a big piece of chipboard and I'm going to glue that onto the back. Like that. Okay, bit of glue on there, and I'm going to attach that down here towards the bottom of my book. Okay, now you will have a little chipboard cup, and I'm just going to attach that and just slip it slightly underneath that book plate like that there. Okay. What I also need you to find in terms of chipboard is the piece of chipboard that says Tea Party, this one here. I probably lost mine. I have lost mine. I knew it. I knew I'd lose bits. Well, never mind. I'll find that in a bit. Right, so what I want to go on here is I want some of my flowers. So I had a white one like that. And I'm going to attach that on there just like that. Okay. Now I've got to do this bit here, which is more like a scroll. So I need to find a spare piece of paper. It doesn't matter which one you're using. You just need a piece. I'm just going to cut tidy. Probably about 1/2 inch wide, something like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll the edges in to make it like a scroll. So just roll it in a bit. Okay, that's going to sit on there, so I just need to decide how long I want it. So I'm just going to trim that down a tiny bit, and then I'm going to roll the other end as well. Okay, let's make sure that fits there, which it does. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue on the back. And I'm going to pop that right across there. And then if you can find your bit that says Tea Party, I used it somewhere else. I don't think I did. No. Well, I have no idea where that's gone. Oh, here it is. And I'm just going to glue that on there. So, oh. So that goes just in the middle there. Like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the left-hand side of our book. Done. So, that half's done. That half's... Oh, we were going to put that other thingy in, weren't we? The other what's it? Where did I put it? Oh, I put it behind the Cheshire Cat. So, a little bit of glue. And I'm just going to pop this in behind my Cheshire Cat here. Okay, so that is the inside of Alice complete. So you can fold that together now. She will sit better once she gets used to how she's going to, you know, once the what do you call it, once the papers train themselves a bit better, she will sit flat, because this one obviously has been used a lot. Ooh. And that one sits quite flat now, apart from where I squish it. So it will happen in time, so don't worry at the moment. Okay, so next week what we'll do is we will put our cover together, and then Alice will be complete. Now, you have a choice next week with regard to how we're going to do the book, so have a think about it. On this book here, I haven't done any form of closure. It just closes on its own. Don't know why I was looking at Wendy and said old. Why did that happen?
I don't know.
No, I don't know either. Sorry, Wendy. I'm going to get into so much trouble now. Oops. Anyway, I have put, if you've got a kit, I have put some black ribbon in the kit. So if you wanted to, you can do a ribbon closure here as well. But you know, have a think about that over the week, and we'll do that next week. So guys, thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, tomorrow we have got the office hours book in Crafting Together with all brands. And then I will see you, yes, at 7. I will see you back here on Wednesday. But if you're not doing anything over the weekend, do pop by to the Chase Handmade online craft event that Mel and I are organising. Chase Handmade is a business that Mel and I have, and we organise handmade only, high-end, high-quality craft fairs. And as we can't really get together to do that at the moment, we're having an online event, which is nice because it means that wherever you are in the world, you can come and have a look. So do pop by Chase Handmade on Facebook. You can find the link on my pages as well, and hopefully see you there. So see you next week. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all soon, so stay safe.
Oh.
Bye.